And welcome back to the PGL Major Krakow. It is day 1 of 8. Of course, 7 of those will be filled with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. 2 matches down, both legendary teams have won. And next up, it's another legendary team. It's V for Victory, V for Virtus.pro, and V for Vega Squadron. That's right, the least experienced versus the most experienced go head-to-head in game number 3. Talking of experience, we've also got 2 experienced old hands back at the desk. Welcome to Yanko and to Sponge, one of which played in the major as well. You actually have more majors on your CV than our earlier guest on the panel, Fifth Laren.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You played in 4.
I didn't know that. And I also beat him in the CGS. So.
Yeah, but he sort of took like, well, I've got a title, and he only finished 9th to 12th. I think that was his smash. I'm just defending Fifth Laren because he's not here to do that himself.
Sure. Yeah, but I retired gracefully.
He retired, what, ungracefully?
I'm not sure. We'll
okay,
talk about it in the green room.
Yanko, this is going to be a fun match, in theory, because it's some inter-CIS rivalries between the 2 organisations, not necessarily the players, but we've got a Virtus.pro team that we're not sure about right now. I mean, it's Poland, it's the major, therefore they'll turn up, right?
Yeah, I mean, but we've been saying this for a very long time now. You know, it's been a couple of big tournaments where we were like, okay, VP has been in a slump. They've been pretty terrible online, especially, right? But it's a big LAN tournament. They're definitely going to show up. First, it was Katowice, then it was Kiev. After that, it was Cologne. You know, there's one tournament after another where you expect.
Have they tested your faith too much now?
I think they have. You know, I think at this point you're actually questioning the fact. Yeah, sure, it's all great, Poland, but we don't get to the arena and the fans, you know, until top 8. So yeah. VP in Cologne out 0 and 3. I don't think anyone expected that even. So at this point, it's about them having to prove that they're still capable of securing that legend spot.
But they are legends. All 5 of them. They've won this tournament before. They've been to the final twice. They've got all the experience they need to get out of the slump. And we've seen this time and again, haven't we, over the last 3-4 years? They go into a slump, they bounce back. They go into a slump, they bounce back.
This is an unprecedented slump because they've actually been trying really hard, right? The brand of Counter-Strike these guys have been playing is very strat-heavy. They've done their dry runs. It's all been... It looks really good. I've watched a lot of their Counter-Strike recently, and I've gone, what is the issue here? And it's not hitting their shots, and I think that comes from confidence, right? I hate these buzzwords and stuff, but they're running around. They're actually looking like a well-regimented unit. But when it comes to making the frags to get across the line, that's where I think VP is slipping up right now.
That's interesting. It's contrast earlier. I don't know if you caught what Olaf was saying earlier on in the interview, but he was saying they're lacking confidence in Fnatic, and that's a double, triple winning set of players from the majors. If they're lacking confidence, anyone can.
Not just the majors. That's the exact same lineup that won 6-7 tournaments in a row last year. You know, they were pretty much unbeatable at the time, and it just shows you how much the game has changed in just a span of a year, and again shows you how important confidence is, especially in a style of play that Fnatic has. You know, VP is more a more methodical team than Fnatic, but if you're going to run a loose play style and if you're going to rely on your individual players, they need to be the most confident players on the server.
Yeah, you just saw Snacks on screen. He's that was a unique record here at the majors. He has 4 aces across all of the majors, incredibly, and that is the most of any player. They're going to need him to kind of come up with that today to help him out, aren't they?
I think even more so, they're going to need this guy. They're going to need Bialy, because he's one of those players for VP. It just seems when he's having a great tournament, that's when VP wins tournaments. Bialy is in no way a flashy player or anything like that. He's just that turret type of a player. You know, they put him in a spot, players come his way and they die, and that's what VP needs. You know, that's what any team needs. But for Bialy in this lineup of VP, you have like Snacks making plays and all of that, Pasha with his specific play style, so to speak. But Bialy is the one who really like closes things out and gets the job done.
Man on the screen, Taz, the most experienced man here at the major in terms of age. He is over 31 now, appearing in his 11th major.
Good thing he has those noise-cancelling headsets and he can't hear
right now. No, he doesn't care. We've bantered enough anyway. He always says, you know, you're older than me and I've lost more hair than you. We've come to agree that that's the way we're going to go. Let's move on to Vega Squadron. They are the least experienced here. We've already mentioned that. All 5 of them in their first ever major. Nerves going to settle in? Was it nervous for you when you came here for the first time?
Yeah, definitely, right? It was just a different kettle of fish to anything else that you experienced in the esports realm, and these guys are even on the tournament circuit. You know, it's not like they've been thrust into environments like this a lot. And for me, the question is, you know, they're an upset team, right? But the question is, to what level of Counter-Strike are they going to be able to play at an event like this? Because you did mention nerves. How much is that going to get on top of a team like this that relies quite heavily on people showing up and having individual performances?
Yanko?
Yeah, I think for Vega Squadron, they have shown that they can create upsets, right? And I think even more so against teams who are more experienced, right? Who are like VP, who rely on team play, and that's where Vega. We saw it in their game to qualify actually for the major against Dignitas on that on Inferno, like crazy aggression on the CT side, really did play the game to win and not to not lose. And that's the way you have to play if you're an underdog, right? You need to take the game to the favorites. You can't sit back and play passive because they're just going to bully you around the server.
Yeah, they've played a lot online over the last 6 months. We've seen them do well online, similar in a way to Penta as well, also playing a lot of online tournaments. Offline, right now, they only have 20 maps in 2017.
Yeah, they're a team. I mean, their first tournament was Leipzig, which was a bit big and flip side. But besides that, haven't really seen all that much from this, especially not, as Chad pointed out, you know, at premier tournaments where the highest competition is. So on one side of things, they've had a lot of time to practice and try to polish their game, but they are definitely inexperienced when it comes to playing in a tournament of this magnitude.
Like, to build on Yanko's point a little bit about, you know, them getting bullied around and stuff, it actually could work that their style of just being very like retake heavy and individually skill based in those scenarios could be good against a regimented VP. I think like VP need to actually scale it back a little bit. I think it's great they have the strategies and they want to base, you know, their pace and everything off of that, and that's how they can get the, I hate to do it, but the plow started. But I think they just need to be confident in the way that they approach the game. And, you know, you have players who are super experienced, and you should be looking at these kids going, we should be able to beat them any day of the week just based off of what we know about the game. So it's a double-edged sword in that regard for Vega. If they come out without a really good game plan, which is what teams like Penta and Big do, they, you know, they have some really good set strats early, they use those, and then they go back to the individual skill to get them across the line. I think that's the best way to do it against a team like VP. Obviously, map dependent. We don't know where we're going to end up just yet. But it's just, it's hard to see, even with VP slump, it's hard to see Vega upsetting. Like this, if they were going to upset anybody, it would probably be VP. But it's hard to see it even.
Well, that was going to be my next question to you, Yanko. Is this not the perfect time for Vega to play them? First game of the tournament whilst they're in a bit of a slump?
Yeah, I agree. That's, you know, the biggest upset potential is there in that opening game. Also, Vega can go with something gimmicky, and they haven't shown anything yet in the tournament, and that can perhaps catch VP off guard. But when it comes to VP, I agree with Chad. Yes, this is the biggest slump that they were ever in. You know, not making it out of groups at three consecutive big LAN tournaments, but it is a major. It doesn't matter that it's in Poland; it can be wherever. And at a major, VP is a different type of a team. We saw it even at the beginning of this year before the E-League major. They went to China for WSG. Everyone was expecting them to, you know, take that tournament without much problems, but they weren't able to do so. But then they come to E-League, and they are, you know, the great VP that we all know and love. So that's it. It just seems like, because Chad said it's confidence, it's the mentality. It's not the game that's the problem for VP, and it is at the majors where they just seem capable of flicking that switch mentally and, you know, showing us their true face, basically.
Right, now getting ready for map vetoes, so let's switch our attention to those map vetoes. As I said earlier on, we haven't got a huge amount on Vega Squadron. They could be a 7-map team, we just don't know. But if there's one thing we do know from at least from their online stuff, is they just don't play cobblestone. So you'd imagine that one's going to be out, especially when you look at VP's progress on the map.
Yeah, it works well for them in this situation. For VP, another team that has a very, very deep map pool besides Cash, I think VP would like to end up on Nuke, probably #1, and then after that, obviously, Cobblestone is out of the picture. Probably Train as the second map, because Mirage, even though historically a great map for VP, it's been pretty shaky lately.
Unfortunately, that's where I think we will end up there, right? You know, towards a Mirage. It seems like it's going to be like a... It's always, when you veto down to 1, it's the middle of the pack for both teams. But Mirage is like almost a comfort pick for Vega. Like that's where I've seen like these, you know, Russian CIS teams have a lot of success on Mirage, right? And these guys are no exception to that rule. So if they get to that, I think Vega are going to be really happy. It's not that VP, they're no slouches on the map, but they haven't won the veto by any means.
So the only data we do have from Vega on Mirage is they've only won once on LAN this year.
Oh, here we go. Hold up. VP's,
here we go.
VP's done Cache, and that's Mirage.
Yeah.
I've studied the logos.
That's Cobblestone for Vega banning, which we thought they would ban first, and they've banned Overpass.
I feel VP wants to end up on Train, and Vega would like to end up on Inferno or Mirage.
Or
Mirage is already out.
Yeah, Mirage is gone. I think VP identified that as one of those, like you say, they're very... They can be very puggy style. They can be very aggressive on Mirage. So
surely Vega vetoes Nuke here.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to risk that.
You would think so.
I mean, no matter what game plan you have or what do you think you have coming into a game like this, you don't want to let VP play Nuke especially when the other maps are, you know, Train and Inferno. I guess, you know, they probably scared a little bit of Train as well.
Look at Cuban behind. He's got a little wry smile on his face. It's almost like he's going, go on, leave Nuke in, go on.
These guys, like, they manhandle teams on Nuke, right? So the VP are one of the only teams who just absolutely
there's no way they get that,
right? It's just, it wouldn't make any sense.
No.
They're really thinking about it, though, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I would imagine because they've got a plan, but
it's always that's the trap, isn't it? You know, like we know how they like to play, but it's never just about what you see on the server. It has a lot to do with like.
So they banned Inferno, where so presumably VP then go with Nuke here.
But this is the issue, right? If this is from left field, which they did pick it, the problem is, what if Vega have just done their homework on this for the? They would have picked it quicker.
But that's what I'm saying,
if that was the case, right? Yeah.
They've like, well, let's pretend to think about it.
So you think the mind games are that deep?
I think it could be.
Oh, that's a bit spicy.
It could be.
VP must be laughing with that. Well, I didn't think that was going to happen at all.
I mean, just for them to have the choice, actually, to pick between Train and Nuke, those are probably the two maps that VP is the most comfortable on at the moment, despite being in a slump and all of that. So I think in a situation like this, it doesn't really matter how much preparation you do. If you're Vega Squadron, it's just that VP has so much confidence and is so comfortable on the map, both as a team and individually. You know, if they lose the first gun round, if they have to make something happen with weak buys, they're going to be able to do that on maps like Train and Nuke, right? Because they're so experienced on them. And for Vega, it's not just a matter of winning the pistol or winning like the first gun round and then you've done a lot of your work. No, it has to be throughout the course of the game. You have to play at a very, very high level to beat VP on Nuke, and I just don't think they're capable of doing that.
The records suggest that you might be right as well. They've won 8 out of 10 this year on Nuke in 2017 on LAN, which, you know, even this, we've talked about this slump, 80% win rates is that's horrible. You don't want to face that.
Yeah, well, this year, if you go back and you watch VP's meta on T-side Nuke Evolve, right, they've constantly been reinventing the wheel and they've been able to change the pace. They've been able to do a lot of top stuff. Originally, when Nuke was slowly coming in, the thing that they did this amazing strategy where they did like a top fake and force people around the catwalk around to ladder, and I love that strat, right? If they dial back and they can grab from any of the last, I guess, 6 months of their Nuke play, their depth on the T side is going to be huge right now. And the fact that they have players like Snacks who love to play around smokes, and yard control with smokes is a pretty big deal. He can be an absolute menace in the outside part of the map. So I have to lean towards VP as being the favourites, obviously, and then the ones to take this map.
All right, well, we're going to get more thoughts from both of you in just a moment, but I'm hearing that Sir Scoots has rounded up the coaches in the player areas, so let's head over there right now.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, I do have the coaches for the next match. I've got LK here with Vega Squadron and the one and only Cuban, legend in his own right from Virtus.pro. So, gentlemen, first off, welcome to the major. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the last couple months. We'll start with Virtus.pro. You know, we've heard the term slump on and off for years about your squad, right? You actually used to play with these guys years ago. Legendary slumps, but out of that, when it counts, you guys tend to do quite well. What's your plan? You're coming into a slump here, or from a slump. What are you going to do? What have you done in the last couple months to kind of get ready?
First of all, we don't want to put too much pressure on ourselves, thinking about the slump in recent months. So we just focus on upcoming game. We are not thinking about like recent 3-4 months. What we think is like we are still able of winning tournaments. We've placed second at the major. We've won Vegas, and that's our point, to win the upcoming game and just to go through as far as we can.
And I would say the same thing to you. Obviously, different kind of pedigree with your guys. These guys are legends in their own right. You're going to beat the legends today, maybe. But how did you prep for it?
Yeah, that's true. Well, our road to the major started a few months ago with the minor. We won the minor, then we had about months to prepare for the major qualifier. And obviously, after getting our spot, we had roughly about a week to prepare for the major itself. So we are just motivated and hyped to play our first major here in Kraków.
Now, first major in Poland, playing Virtus.pro. So obviously you didn't get a choice of who you get to play. Slump or not, this is probably not the greatest first matchup for you guys. Or is it, in the sense that if you beat these guys on home soil, it really sets the momentum for you going forward?
Well, I don't think like slump or whatever matters, because ever these guys been in a slump, they would always come back, even at the event in Poland. So it doesn't matter what team for us to play. We're just here to have some fun, to enjoy the atmosphere of the major, and to feel how it is to be at the major.
All right, let's talk about the veto. It came down to Nuke. Good map for these guys. They did beat Astralis at the Clash for Cash on it, the one map they took. Solid map. You guys had the opportunity to veto it, and you did not. So you knew they were probably going to pick it if you left it in. Why did you go that route?
Well, we just want to play our game, and we know it's one of the strongest maps for the Virtus.pro, but let's see. It's how it went, so it doesn't matter after all.
I mean, might as well beat them on their best, right? Yeah. All right. And then what do you think about them letting it through? Were you laughing? Were you guys like, how is this happening, or not a big deal?
Actually, we've been practicing against them lately so much. So I mean, not at the time we knew we were going to play against each other at the major. But yeah, recent months we played quite a lot. We know that they are really good skill-wise, and yeah, we expect game to be really solid. We know they like to push aggressive. We are prepared for it, of course. And I think the choice for Nuke was because we need to start T side, but for us it's the stronger side. So let's just see what's going to happen.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Go ahead and shake hands. You can trash talk if you want, but no one's doing it so far. That's going to do it for me on this section. Back to you guys, Paul, at the desk.
Thanks very much, Scott. Yes, Scoot's there with the interviews with both coaches. And Vega Squadron, you probably heard the coach mention the fact that they came through the minor championship. These guys actually played 2 months ago to the day in the closed qualifier and lost to Spartak, would you believe, in the group stages of the closed qualifier. They had to win a best-of-3 against Nova just to make the minor championship. Such a long road, Chad, isn't it? Would you have preferred to have had those roads back in the early days of the majors? Would you like to have seen the worldwide global qualifiers, or are you quite happy that you managed to get 4 appearances before that stuff started?
Look, I was happy that I think the first one was like an invite, and then the second one we had to we actually had to qualify for, and then it got harder from there, right? Once we got it in the route of being in the Asian minors and stuff, we didn't have to go through all the qualification, but jeez, I don't want to do that nowadays. That's almost half the year gone.
It's horrific, isn't it? But these guys are a true position, Yanko, of like you can do it. Anyone can go in for these qualifiers right in the early days, the open qualifiers, closed qualifiers, and could end up in a major.
And I think that's great, and also that it's very important, right, for people who don't have maybe support from organizations or this or that. Just if you have a group of people who are very skilled and you believe that you're capable of doing it. So yes, it's a long road. Yes, it's a very difficult road, but there is a road, and we've seen teams lately being able to take that road, like Vega Squadron and like Penta.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you very much, both of you. And I think our commentary team are ready for game number 3. Our last matchup was a battle of the Fs. It's now a battle of the Vs. It's Vega versus Virtus.pro.
Yes, indeed, Paul. Still territory for us to go out of the range. Samlo could be dangerous.
Of course, but you know, I'll play it safe. I just want him to, you know, use that as like a tongue twister. You know, say it really fast 3 times, 5 times.
I think Paul could do that. He's got the experience, you know. I think, did he recently do his, what, 200th event or something ridiculous like that? I think that was Cologne. He made it past that mark, so it's pretty impressive.
You just know that Paul has been around for a long time. And, you know, kind of like some of the players here from Virtus.pro. So we have Taz on our screen, you know, quite a long and glorious career for this man here alongside his brother Neo. Essentially, I mean, brother, they might as well be family. They've been playing together for so long now. Decade together on the same rosters, dominating.
I'm very excited about this game. I think it's strange and also very interesting that we've ended up on Nuke. I think the panel had it right. This is the map that Virtus.pro took away from Astralis during the Clash for Clash or Clash for Cash. I can never say that right.
Yeah, I know. I always get it wrong
confusing.
Too. I was just like, what? Wait a second.
Regardless, that is what happened, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out for this best of 1. And I mean, you know, look at the names. Virtus.pro versus Vega Squadron. Your mind says easy. Like you know who's going to win. But then you actually think about it for a little bit, and you realize that Chopper and JR are like quite dangerous. Mir, who's been he's been playing out of control as well. I think they've got like a bunch of potential of Vega Squadron to really make this, if not a tense match, maybe an upset match here.
Sure.
I think this is well within the realm of reason. So yeah, I would say there's lots for Virtus.pro to worry about.
The key for VP right now is just to show a healthy amount of respect. And by that, I mean show no respect whatsoever. Just go and slap these guys. Like, you are VP. This is where you need to just be like, you are VP. You are the team. You got your map as well, one of your strongest maps in the pool.
Yes.
In a best of one, yeah, sure. And playing Nuke in a best of one kind of hurts your brain a little bit because if you get that strong CT start, right, you know, it can be very difficult for teams to break it. And so VP will be starting on T side, and so it's even more important that they pick up the pistol. But really, VP should just come into this map thinking, we are the superior team. We're going to win all the duels. Get out of our turf.
We're about to see how it all unfolds here, and maybe they have, well, tried to do something like that. Neo certainly very quick with that push. Mia getting one headshot, and he's going to get overwhelmed. Taz with the shot, running and gunning up on the railing. And it's almost going to be able to take down Hachi there. That looked like he was about to get run over. Still might, as he's trying to fall back in towards the ramp room. Taz chasing him down, relentless with the Glock. That's a second kill for him. And Pasha out here with the deagle in hand. Not going to get the headshot right away, but there is still a big chance here for Virtus.pro to win the round. 4 versus 3, and they got plenty of time.
Absolutely, because they already have snacks down cam and seeking the B site. And so once VP have access to this, you can leave Pasha alone, kind of lurking around in the hallways here. He might run into Kashander, but the rest of the team are grouped up and working together as a unit, and that's what you want to see here if you're Virtus.pro. There is a kit still in play. It's on Chopper, but he's taking quite a bit of damage here. So if he is going to die, he needs to die on the site and make it possible for his teammates to get out here and actually try something.
JR not checking the corner close to him, and Snacks lurking in wait. He's going to go down. Chopper's one shot away from death anyway, so that looked a bit interesting. Smoke is going to be up right in Taz's face, and they're just going to have to try and go for the defuse. Unfortunately, he's very low on health already. Taz clicking and not quite hitting anything. Now he's bouncing into him, and there's a couple of kills there for Virtus.pro to win the round. Slight moment of panic at the end, but it worked out.
I think for Taz in particular, he looked a little lost. When the smoke seems infinite, you get stuck on something, you're never getting out of the smoke. You're like, wait, that should kind of tell you something there. But what's crazy is that it's Pasha with the deagle who gets that shot and saves the day. VP pick up the pistol round here. They've accomplished the first step towards success on Nuke on the T side. They get the strong start, they get the nades, and they go for quite a few SMGs. And I'm curious to see exactly what Vega will have to answer this with. Not a whole lot. 3 Kevlars, a scout on JR, so there is that.
That's some really fast yard smokes coming out of Virtus.pro. They were landing as Pasha was making his run down. The rest of the squad going to run towards the ramp room instead, it seems. So could be very dangerous indeed. They've already taken over ramp, and JR no chance at all. Pasha, he was there to catch them. And he failed in that mission, and that's going to leave it a bit tricky now. Haji trying to stay alive. He'll get at least 1 kill, but... Or so you get a little bit of damage. If he would have got 1 kill, then he could actually slow down the rest of VP enough that they could have maybe turned the round then. Bit scary for Virtus.pro.
Kashander with the right idea. That's unfortunate, but VP, they're just out of the range of that angle. Surely thought of there from Virtus.pro. And as the smoke clears, going to be the duel between Bialy and Kashander. Bialy wins it with the UMP up close. 4 players surviving this round. And yeah, this is perfect for Virtus.pro. As long as Taz doesn't die with the AK, everybody else, they're just going to keep farming, keep making tremendous amounts of money.
That was about to be a very bad round for VP. I mean, it's great that they fought their way out, but I think if they could have got that 1 kill, like once they took on Pasha, everyone else from VP is just running down the ramp. Like they could have faced a firing squad, admittedly of pistols, but still, that was a bit risky. Snack surviving on 10 health on top of the bomb, and Virtus.pro will clear that round no problem in the end. Mia managing to save the deagle.
Saves the deagle. No Kevlar. He's at 2,000 in the bank. So it is JR who actually kind of managed his economy a little bit better. He's at 2,750. He got dropped that scout. So he has that to work with in the next round. Not so much in this one. This should be a hard eco apart from that deagle here for Vega Squadron. Wouldn't mind seeing somebody go ahead and just drop $200 on a flash. You know, you can always find something with that, but it's looking like it's going to be a kind of default approach here from Vega Squadron. Nice and spread out across the map, and looking for a fight early on in the yard here. Unfortunately for JR, he runs right into Pasha, blindsided.
I love this strat from Virtus.pro. Pasha's just running while the rest of his team are laying down the smokes, and how can you stop that? I mean, yeah, running for the smoke might be one of them, and this time, Pasha's going to do his job even better than last time. He's going to pick up the kill on Hachi as well. Making it Mia and Kashander left. Mia trying to see if he could push his way in. Pasha's all over the place right now. It is beautiful to watch. Very well done.
I think Kashander failed to read what was written on the glass over there. It is an emergency, Kashander. You should be breaking that glass. Instead, he's going to pick up the Deeg. Yep, that's right. He's got a Molotov, too. Could have come up with something clever. Unfortunately for him, though, Bialy is lurking right around the corner with that UMP. And we shall say no more about Bialy.
Down and out for the count. Good for Vega if they could do some economic damage here to the Polish side of things. Of course, a lot of eyes are going to be on Virtus.pro for this particular tournament. Being in Krakow, definitely a lot of fans in that arena. Another headshot coming through on Neo. That's a really great job. He picks up a flashbang and a UMP, and he can use that next round, no problem here. That's an interesting turn of events. Virtus.pro giving him a couple of rifles and not really getting much out of it.
That is something that needs to get touched on, though, is that VP, when they get into Polish territory, it feels like there's just this additional pressure that builds on their shoulders, and their game suffers because of it. And so coming into this tournament, it's almost like okay, yeah, we haven't had the best results leading into it, but what we kind of need to focus on here is just imagine that we're playing somewhere else, like in Sweden or something, or you know, Vegas or whatever, right? Maybe. Somewhere that is not. I mean,
maybe, but also once the crowd is there, I feel like that's going to ignite them, you know. Like, I think if they could just make it into the playoffs, then I don't know. I still think they could do it. Like, I really do.
Oh, I haven't given up hope on VP. Far from it. There's a lot of talk about slumps and roster changes. I don't think that should be happening for VP whatsoever.
Neo goes down. Such a good angle from JR. He's looking for another one. Going to get a chance against Pasha here. Flashbang for the setup, and the timing was almost there for him. But JR is so cool right now. He seems almost unfazed by the fact that they're right around the corner, just backing off slowly. And he's already got the first kills. Everything is in order here. Vega Squadron, definitely an interesting team. It's been flying under the radar of a lot of people, I think, for a while, but during the major qualifier, they certainly showed what they were all about. JR goes down right afterwards to Bialy. Kashanda, this is a pretty good angle to be covering. Hard for them to do anything about it. Going to be a quick kill there on Bialy. Oh, if he could have got out the grenade first, that would have been excellent, but Pasha will take him down. Now 3-on-3.
Unfortunately for Snacks, he doesn't even know. Got shot by Chopper, but Pasha on the lower side, 30 seconds left. It looks like they finally will get control of B and be able to plant this bomb. Once again, same position here from Taz. Wide open plant. Out in the open, and he's going to be able to make his way back. Does he close the doors or not? Because that will be making a sound if he does. Would give away his position.
Chopper's miles away. He actually decided to go back instead of down the vent, so he's coming in same angle as the one that Mira is holding. Taz with the door open as they jump down. He sees the feet, and Chopper's got no idea. That's a great little mind game. And Pasha to close out the round with a triple kill. All of them very smooth, all of them very well lined up. And that will be Virtus.pro to clear it out. 4-0. There was a lot of trouble for Vega here.
If we could get a replay, actually, it's not even of kills. It's just how JR and VP both approached secret tunnels there, going towards the lower site. Like JR, that was textbook stuff, falling back each angle, every time just holding the angle, giving the ground as soon as VP do it, forcing VP to use utility to get him off those angles, but also VP, yeah, using utility, working together to clear out the, like, it was just on both sides. That was some really satisfying CS to watch on how to play defense versus offense. And so VP, eventually, they keep their cool and find the picks that allow them to pick up the round.
Oh, God.
That was some very nice CS to watch.
As was that classic nuke tactic of blowing up the door and through the smoke, and here's Snacks with a sawn-off shotgun. Taking 2 big kills for a lot of money there. Pudgy getting a headshot on 1 and a second 2. That's not at all bad. Still leaving in a 2 versus 3 here. Shouldn't be that much of an issue, I think, for Virtus.pro to close out this round. Snacks still out and about looking for a couple of kills.
In the meantime, bomb is getting planted on that B site. And then once again, Taz falling back to his usual spot.
It's an AWP right there, so if Mir can make his way over, maybe?
Yeah, exactly. If they can actually save, because, you know, Chopper should obviously prioritize the AWP. I really like Taz's positioning, though, in that in Toxic, just because it gives him so much info on ramp. If anybody steps over here, well, I mean, obviously Bialy getting shot to death is going to change things up, but just when it comes to a retake scenario, we saw how well it worked out for Taz. He's able to communicate to his teammates. He hears them coming. He can even count them if they're both running right. But this will be a successful save. A very successful eco round, actually, here for Vega. You can see, yeah, VP trying to come back over here. Sure enough, Snacks will be able to recover the AK, but they've sacrificed 3 players, Virtus.pro, and given 2 free guns over to Vega Squadron. So for a hard eco, this was a good round here for Vega.
They're making the most out of what really is not a great position at the moment. 5-0 in favor of the Polish side. Vega Squadron need to step it up just a little bit.
And we haven't even seen any A play yet from VP. So we're seeing some very clean yard takes that allow for the pressure on ramp. They keep finding that kill as well, and that's something that Vega are definitely going to have to adjust. The man who's holding in hell, the rotator towards ramp, he's going to have to try and change up how he approaches that, because if that wall of smokes keeps going down, you know, what's your timing to peek? Because both times, the guy who goes for peek info on ramp, he's just like, oh, I'm dead. Great. And then VP have that man advantage, so they can take it from there. So some of these details that need to get discussed from Vega, they need to find the timings and how to work together right now to adjust to what they're seeing from VP. But because we haven't even seen anything from on A from VP, VP have still got plenty left here to figure out and work with.
Quite a few grenades raining in outside. Neo again very fast with this push, but they've got to be careful. Mir is holding out there with the AK. Sort of a dangerous line to be covering here. Like, it could go, if they find out that you're here, it's very hard to get out alive, but Neo's allowed to sneak his way in. Taz gets one frag and a lot of trouble in the A-bomb site now. Chopper going to be going down. Hudgy coming out, has to actually keep running because the Molotov is up behind him. Spots the feet of Neo, and he's going to get the kill. Hudgy doing a lot of work right now. And Snacks and Pasha not really in position at the moment. That's a bit odd. There's Pasha with the kill on JR. Not sure why Vega are still fighting this hard. The bomb isn't even down yet, and you just had the 2 versus 3, so maybe time to cool it off a bit. There's Mir with the kill on 1. And now Snacks in the 1 versus 2 for the clutch. Can he make it? He's actually stuck in the smoke right now. Not easy to get back from here. Right on top of it, he makes it into contamination and with decon, and now Snacks is maybe in a winnable position.
Except that bomb is getting defused. He's taking the long route. Will he just be able to make it? It's going to be a split-second situation. And it's not going to be happening for him. They will peek into him for some odd reason. Plenty of money on VP's side to rebuy. You didn't really need to go for that peek. Snacks is going to have the money to buy again if he were to die, right? So, interesting decisions, but...
that was... Oh man, just a couple of more seconds would have been interesting, but also just the fact that you can see he's having a hard time getting out from that smoke, you know? So it's just the after-plant position not working out. Sometimes we see the bomb being planted for that decon door, and people will just sort of keep, you know, playing around with it, maybe even shoot a hole in it and try and see if they can catch anyone defusing on the other side, but he was just out of time altogether. So 5-1 is the scoreline moving into the 7th round, and Vega finally coming up with a big win. They need to continue a lot, and Virtus.pro, they're so fast on this T side. Unusually fast.
But this time around, they might have started walking just early enough. That still doesn't mean that they've dealt with JR. And sure enough, are they going to peek it together? Yes, they will. This time, not going to get caught off guard. JR with the incendiary to try and buy a little bit more time, and it works out perfectly. Allows him to reposition. And he still had a teammate alive in vents as well to hold the line. This is going to be on Kashandra now. Is he going to be able to take advantage of the edge? No, right through the smoke. The pressure here from Virtus.pro, it's monstrous. Vega, they're giving so much ground right now.
They are being pushed back. JR had a chance for a shot then. Now he's flashed instead. And has to just wait a bit up there on the railing. Again, Pasha making it work. He's playing better than we've seen for a very long time here. With the AWP as well, it's just great to see it happen. Taz will take down Mir after Neo lost his life. So 4 versus 3, 40 seconds left here. Virtus.pro playing such a clinical T-half right now.
This is a totally different VP, but it's also a totally, I think it's a VP that just feel supremely confident versus this opponent, which is exactly what should be happening. A little bit of a missed shot there from JR. And now he's caught in a tight spot. Does battle back. Still takes Bialy with him. But that leaves Chopper alone in a 1v3. And Chop, that bomb has now been planted.
There's probably no point in fighting this 1v3. Like, as soon as you fire the gun, they're going to know where you are. He does get 1 kill, but Snacks and Taz, look at the crossfire setup that's here. Chopper making noise, jumping down, and he's going to get shot in the back by Taz, who picks up a double kill. JR definitely was in a position where he could have turned that round in favor of Vega. If he got the kill on Pasha in the window, maybe there would have been a chance, but as soon as that doesn't happen, he gets overrun and the bomb site falls. It's 6-1. Virtus.pro, their first game of the major tournament, Vega Squadron 2, but that breaks the economy for the Vega side. How can they find their way back?
And there's also a little bit more pressure on Vega. This is the major, Anders. They finally made it. And so, first game of the major, there might be some jitters that they're trying to get over as well, especially because you're not exactly going up against an easy opponent. VP on Nuke, they're a force to be reckoned with, and we're seeing why. Just systematic destruction.
There's a lot of people waiting on the other side of this door. Snacks. Try and see if he could crisp Kashandra, but He makes it out alive. Chopper and JR, we can't really say the same for them.
No, but there's still a trap here for VP. It is this 5-man stack on A. We'll see, do VP suss this out, or do they actually walk into it? With 2 guys stacked on HUD, if you go through Squeak Door, you're not going to have much time to worry because you're going to be dead.
VP sensing something might be off. And they're all going to converge on the ramp room. Kishanda trying to see if he could become one of them. Just wanted to make some new friends.
It's been 2 seconds, and then Pasha figured it out. Hearing the footsteps behind him. And, well, VP, I love it. Look at this, how they're handling this eco as well. They're all just grouped up, stacked up, moving together as a unit, not giving Vega the chance to pick them off one at a time. Although, as I say that, we might have a little bit of an opportunity here on ramp. But 2 players, once again, ready and waiting. Pasha misses his shot. Bialy, though, will get the spray. Mir, not long for this world. And this is not a good anti-eco, or I mean, rather, eco for Vega. They just got nothing out of it, unfortunately for them. A flawless anti-eco on VP's side. And again, just a lesson on how to play anti-ecos.
Something else that I think is a worrying sign if you're Vega is the fact that Virtus.pro is 7-1, but Neo has 0 kills. So he's 0-6 right now. They're winning this Virtus.pro 4 versus 5. I mean, it's not quite fair. Obviously, Neo is still doing something, but in terms of kills, what happens if he starts to come alive and do a bit more here? Vega finally have rifles back in their hands. At least that is going in the right direction, but this looks like it could be a real sweep. Maybe the first one we have of the major, because the rest of the games have been fairly close.
Yeah, 16-10, 16-12.
Yeah.
You know, solid score lines for sure. Or at least a match.
Wow.
But there we go.
Nice shot from Bialy. That was actually not much of Haji's face actually showing in that position, but doesn't really matter. Bialy to pick up the kill. 4 versus 5, and grenades starting to rain in. Pasha again. He's playing alone with the AWP and just finding frags left and right. Gonna get that one on Chopper as well. He's not even worried about the bomb anymore. He is just on a mission. Papa Biceps here to make the plays.
Yeah, he's amped.
Yeah, he's currently got 13 kills. Why not? Why not?
A couple of rounds ago, I think he had 151 ADR, so it'd be fun to see like where he is at now as we progress. But Pasha just continues to show fine form here in this match to start things off, and this is now Vega wisely backing off to try and just save anything here. There is someone out there hunting for him, but I don't think they're going to be able to find him here. Just not enough time. And so 8-1 for VP, methodically picking this defense apart one at a time. And do they even have, they don't really have enough money. I mean, they can drop UMPs, I guess, if they want, Mir and JR. But really, this is probably just going to be, nope, yep, never mind. And not even UMPs, they're dropping FAMASs. Interesting. No, yeah. Okay, 2 UMPs, 1 on Chopper, 1 on Kishanda. A little bit light on the nades, Kishanda, because he had to force.
Did they leave a FAMAS and spawn?
I think there was some kind of juggle there, because I saw 2 UMPs, so they left a UMP.
Yep, they left a UMP. That's a bit of a shame. Don't want to be buying things you don't really need.
Don't want to be buying FAMASs when you have a UMP.
Maybe that too. Haji's gone down already. Snacks with the opening. Man, Virtus.pro, they look tuned in right now. Oh, and what a shot coming out. Snacks cancelling, just deleting JR off of the map. What on earth is going on?
The one tap. And now Taz is ready. He's got an off angle, though. This is the one and done. And not even that. Bialy and Pasha, however, will make up for it. But, yeah, Taz really the sacrificial lamb there. Neo will finally find a kill. Chopper in the back.
If you're a Counter-Strike player in this tournament and you see Snacks hit a shot like that, it's just the cold is just going to run down your spine thinking, please don't. Like, he's been gone for a while, Snacks. Let him just stay gone. We don't want him back because when he's back, he's one of the best players in the world. And that's definitely scary. 9-1.
You talk to teams, man, and they're just like, you know, what do you think about VP right now? They're like, oh, they've still got Snacks. It's all right. You know? You just can't take it. Like, man, in a football match, in a match of CS, he's lethal everywhere, Anders.
Let's see if we've managed to curse him enough that Vega could do something here. Neo finding a second kill of the game for him, so he started to come alive a bit as well. It's just a great time for Virtus.pro. They're having a blast right now. Mia to pick up the AWP. He's very low on health and just trying to see if he can get back into a position to maybe pick up another kill. Virtus.pro don't have to worry about too much in a round like this. Already making their way back. Oh, JR going to be going down, and I think they heard the shot from Mir as well, so he is going to be in some trouble here.
Yeah, he's boxed now. And Snack's making sure that he has no way out. Although that smoke does allow him to sneak through to main. He had... Oh, right on the edge. There is no edge in the smoke. Nothing to take advantage of. But now, is this going to work out here for Mir? Yep, sure enough. He even takes the time to scope, Anders. Thought that he was going to go, you know, for the fly shot there.
Oh, well, problem is, can't hide too close to the bomb either with 16 health, so gotta be really careful. Neo and Taz making sure they don't give up the round in some sort of silly way. They don't know that he doesn't have a kit here, so either way, he's just in a lot of trouble. Making a bit of noise, and yeah, Neo should try and follow him, I think. That would make sense.
Definitely. They have the money to buy. You do not, I mean, Snacks and Bialy both have got above 10 digits, so if you can get this AWP off of him, that would be a big deal. And Neo, he's taking the right angle. Is he going to be able to find him, though? I think Mir's going to be able to dash back to T-spawn just in time. Closes that angle, and Neo, no joy for him. Although, as I say that, is it going to be a split second? No.
Seems like the end round timer lasts a long time when you have an AWP that you're trying to save. 10-1, ladies and gentlemen. This is definitely very impressive, and a tactical timeout being called by Vega Squadron makes a lot of sense considering the deep hole that they are in right now.
100%. It's a question of just, well, they're trying to adapt to Virtus.pro's plays, you know, with the pressure in yard, etc. And they're actually giving up the yard control for the hallway control down and lower towards B, but they're not effective right now, Vega Squadron, with that defense. You know, regardless, it's VP that keep pushing them back. And then once VP get up into control room, it just feels like Virtus.pro, that's where Bialy comes alive, that's where Pasha comes alive, that's where they start finding the kills, right? And so it's once they get to that step, that's where Vega Squadron need to figure out a game plan on how to stop VP from getting those picks that keep giving him space.
See if that little mascot there is going to be enough to rally some sort of morale for the team. Maybe make him feel good. Keep the focus. They certainly need it right now. Mia picking up a kill on Neo. Good way to get started. Now, where is the follow-up? Vega Squadron right now should feel very comfortable. 5 versus 4 on Nuke, CT side. Hold the bomb sites. Just don't give up too much yard control and you'll be fine.
Yeah, in this round. The whole, you know, VP double digits T-side nuke doesn't, you know, give you much reason to feel comfortable. Hutchie. Ah, Hutchie with the double. Clever angle from him, that headshot angle. If you start spraying, you know, it can get a little bit desperate. Bialy's still out in the yard, and who's tagging along with him? It'll be Taz.
They know that Mia likes playing out here, and this time he's going to catch them again. So double kill for him, double for Hutchie, and Taz. If he could find a couple of kills here, that even would be a pretty good job. Kashenda might be the target. Indeed, he will be. Taz going to go down afterwards, so it's very well done. And will be a second round for Vega Squadron. I swear I heard a pause being called, so I'm not sure if that was tactical. Technical, we'll find out in a second.
Chopper was looking a little confused there for a second, so yeah, it looks like it's on Vega's side.
Fair enough. 2-10. Better late than never, but still. It must be hard right now if you're on the Vega side to find the sort of the rallying call.
Kind of curious, was it a sound card issue again?
Potentially. Looks like he's all good.
Yeah, everybody's readying up.
Should be voted back in any second.
All right.
It's very interesting. I mean, the panel were bringing up, I think, a valid point, which is that traditionally Virtus.pro are a bit slow in tournaments to begin with, and they sort of ramp up throughout. So if they start at this level, you certainly wonder what could come next.
Well, it will certainly be a more difficult match considering you only play against winners. You only play against teams with the identical score lines to your own in the Swiss system. And so VP, you know, you got a great draw in Vega Squadron to start things off here for your tournament. From here on out, it gets more difficult if you want to keep winning. And oh, here we go, the HCs, and Snacks finding the opening, the double opening. Double entry frag straight into ramp. And he will be able to dodge the shot from JR as well.
Kashenda's right underneath him, but my god, does he have a lot of work to do. They're in all around him, and Neo surviving just long enough to lure Kashenda into that. I mean,
see, that's what Neo's doing, you know? He's just staying alive long enough. Exactly.
And that's sort of a problem, right? In that situation, Kashenda needs a straight headshot kill and then on to the next, right? As soon as Neo's like, oh, I'm just going to crouch here on the ramp, then the game is up. JR and Chopper, 2 versus 3. I feel like you sort of have to fight this. You've got to be gunning for a 10-5 first half. Taz with a headshot, making sure that probably doesn't happen. Snacks has got the triple kill, and he's still alive to try and make it maybe a quad. In fact, he's waiting for Chopper to make his way out. He's picked up the AWP, and Snacks, easy kill for the quad. 11-2. Virtus.pro gliding right through this first match in the first half as well. Man, this is nuts, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely nuts.
This is what you get when you play VP on Nuke right now. There's a while where it's just like you don't play VP on Nuke. And clearly that while is not over. They are still just crazy on this map. Look at this. Snacks just looks like he's in his home turf. 3 big rounds, 4 with the exit here at the end. And so 11-2.
He's everywhere with that AK-47. He's just so mobile with it. Catching almost all of the timings. 14th round here. Bialy opening up with a shot. They are trying to get the push into the lobby, and actually they've worked that out well so far, dropping the bomb. And if they could have just got the kill on Neo, at least it would have been a 2-on-2. Now Virtus.pro slowing it down. Yeah, there's still a chance here.
Yeah, this could get nasty. Trophy room. And the bomb dropped in the open. I think a lot of this could come down to Snacks. They can just kind of sit and hold these angles, though. There's still plenty of time here for Virtus.pro. The only problem is that wherever Snacks goes now, he's going to make some noise if he breaks the windows or he opens that door. So this might be the setup for his teammates to try and do something here.
Such an enormous amount of time left here. Vega. It's very difficult because they can't just go and stand in lobby and wait. With 2 people, you're not going to have enough angles to cover. So, I mean, in some ways, this makes sense for Mir, but he's still only covering 1 angle, whereas his teammate has got just a lot more to cover. Like, Chopper, look at him. He's in a strange position right now.
Yeah, a lot to worry about. And Neo, I think, just spotted him, but Chopper wins that fight. So now it's even. 2 versus 2. He has no idea that Pasha's behind him, and Pasha misses the chance. Thinks that he's holding close hut instead. So information given up there, but 25 seconds left on the clock. And now it's on VP to do, while they just buddy up and head down to the B side. I like this a lot from them. Snacks is there to cover Pasha as Pasha goes for the plant. Sure enough, Snacks will get the spot, but more importantly, he allows for Pasha to actually see it through.
Yeah, bit of AK damage on top of the grenade. Nice push in from Chopper, not waiting at all now. Snacks, he's been taking a lot of dreams away from Vega already. Maybe he could do this with a 1 versus 2. Smoke is up for the defuse. He actually hits that shot right through the smoke. Now going to close the door in front of them. The full defuse coming in front, and Snacks going to get the one. Still 5 seconds left for the spray, and he gets it with a double kill. Stealing their dreams round after round, and now we're up to 16 kills on Snacks in just 14 rounds. My god. Yeah, he's only died 4 times in the first half.
Yeah, no,
how could that even be real?
This has just been the VP show, man. I mean, look at the rest of his team. 16 kills for Snacks. Yeah, 14 on Pasha, Bialy with 12, and Taz with 12. There just isn't enough. There just isn't enough for Neo. It's not like he's trying to get, he's failing to get kills or anything. It's just like his teammates are sucking all the oxygen out of the room. There just aren't enough frags to go around.
It's a bit greedy, isn't it?
I know, right? Come on. Sharing is caring. I like that from Bialy.
They don't want none of your communist Counter-Strike stuff. They're not interested. 15th round, last of the first half here, and right now Virtus.pro are playing. There's got to be a lot of Virtus.pro fans out there thinking, yes, finally, they seem to be on the right track again. Snacks will take down JR, and now it's a 5 versus 3 here. The money is not there, the weapons aren't there. Everything right now is falling apart for Vega Squadron. Admittedly, it's a best-of-1 game, but what a rough way to start the major tournament if you're Vega.
Yeah, just a beatdown. A total beatdown. 2-man advantage, 15th round. And yeah, Virtus.pro lead by 10 rounds. it is 12-2 in VP's favor, and they're looking pretty good to get the 13th here as well. But everybody's just kind of they just have this gentleman agreement where they're going to sit and wait, it looks like. Not a whole lot of movement coming through from Vega.
That's really interesting. Virtus.pro, I mean, they know they have this map in the bag. They don't want to give anything up. They're going to put down all the grenades, all the smokes. They will lose Snacks, but still Chopper is in a bit of a weird position now. More smokes going up to block him out. Well, a bit of a gap, actually. Maybe he could exploit that. He's certainly looking to make his way through, and Asher's going to be going down. This is beautiful play from Chopper. I'm not sure it'll be enough, but certainly doing a remarkable job. 3rd kill for him. Kashenda, now's the time to step it up and help out. The quad kill coming in. All of them UMP frags, but the bomb is down. And Bialy, he's got a bit of a lead here against the AWP. He's going to land the headshot finally. And Chopper's done all the work in this round, and I'm afraid it might not be enough here. He hasn't got the kid. He hasn't got any more grenades. He's picked up at least an AK. Can he get the headshot? He can't. He gets stolen away. The heartless man, Bialy. Gonna steal it the last round there. 13-2 in favor of Virtus.pro. After all of that.
Yeah, it's just they use all of the round VP, and there's no utility left either for Chopper. You saw him running around. He's like, is there some kind of nade that I can maybe use here? No, I guess I just have to get the AK and hope that I'm able to pull it off. But Bialy played that perfectly, even though that did look a little scary on the first, you know, when it's the 1v2, the first shot that he got there, the spray, looked like he might have missed it. Just a little worrisome, but really, this is just perfect here for Virtus.pro. It's good, Snacks. Stay hydrated. It's important. You got to keep sharp.
Yeah. Saying, do you have any more players I can eat? Just bring him my way.
He actually consumes the blood of his victims.
This is monstrous. 13 kills on Chopper. He's actually done a remarkable job. Like, getting 13 kills when you are actually 11 rounds behind is just quite impressive. Him and Mir, but the rest, it hasn't been enough. And right now, Virtus.pro 3 rounds away from clearing their first map of the major. And with style. Let's see if Vega can do anything on the T side. That at least they have a chance to do that. Win the pistol. You get a good start. Maybe it's possible to make it slightly back into this game. Still think the full road to the comeback, almost unheard of from this kind of scoreline. Just, I think, a bit of a tech issue, or maybe just the regular timeout.
I mean, they do have a few minutes at the halftime, right? So it does look like it's a tech issue, though, this time around. But the players are allowed to take a pretty long break, actually, at halftime if they want. It is an option for them. It's just very rare that we actually see teams do that, right? Where they, you know, when you're switching sides, you know, especially if you're going into T side, usually you have your pistol side mapped out already. You can see Snacks. You know, he's got all the notes ready, lined up.
Now, is it actual tactics, or is he just like, is it his own script that he's writing, like his own movie script where he's starring in the lead role, just ready to send it off to Hollywood?
Snacks just like, all right, let's go. We're ready.
There we go.
There's the water. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, it takes its toll on you carrying this much weight.
I mean, really, just what are in those notes? It's really just like, you know, he was reading it. Okay, hit all the headshots. Right, throw it back to Cuban. Right, I got it, Cuban, now. Thank you. That's good.
More of that. Just lines of paper that says you can do it over and over again.
I can do this. That's right, Snacks. You can be a monster. Ooh, clever camera work, but that's, of course, what we expect from PGL.
They do make the game look beautiful, don't they? 16th round is coming up now. The second half is live, and Mia, right off the bat, jumping off the silo, straight onto the roof here. See if he could surprise anyone with that Glock. Neo must have heard him drop down. He's right underneath him, and Neo spots him first. You could see the actual gun models blocking Mir there from actually seeing Neo. That's a bit interesting, but the shadow shows, and Pasha coming in from the other angle. Taz is going to be going down now. They're trying to get up to heaven, and Kashenda picking up a second kill for himself. Snacks and Neo still alive, and Neo getting a kill. Looking for a bit more here. Now it's a 2-on-2. Snacks sniping away, and Neo just tapping madly. Still hits the headshot, and a final one coming in. Neo saving all of his firepower for the second half pistol. A triple for him. And Virtus.pro now at 14. How do you hit headshots with the USP like that?
You just spray and you pray, and well, somebody was listening this time for Neo. But that's the other thing, you know, he's like, okay, he's low on frags, but talk about a time to show up. The triple at the end, 3 pistol round kills, and basically setting VP up now to crush Vega Squadron. 14-2, and VP, of course, have bought up. Vega, they've gone for the Force Pistol Kevlar. A single smoke grenade on Kashanda. They can't even get a smoke wall up to help him get the secret.
It's sort of sad. That would have been such a beautiful strat from Vega, because they would have had Mir and Mini and then 3 men up heaven. So they would have had a huge crunch on the A-bomb side. It would have been quite nice to see that actually work out, but Neo had to stop them.
Snacks is just waiting for these guys to get close. Unfortunately, the MP9 is not great if you're trying to take a fight with a guy on Marshmallow.
Especially if he has armor,
Oh,
right?
but this could be... Look at this. The tapping with the MP9, not the best gun, sure enough. There's the flash follow-up. But really, what I was getting excited about was, is Snacks going to do what he used to do, which is just find the perfect timing to go through the smoke and eviscerate someone.
They are looking very indecisive here, Vega, because they put up the smoke so they could get down into secret. Now they're backing out again to try and fight Snacks, and he's quite happy about that one. It's sort of falling apart here for the T side. Viali waiting for Chopper on the other side here. A lot of damage has been dished out. Some great grenades from VP in this round as well, especially the first 2 I think landed on maybe JR and Chopper. Did a lot of damage. This is out of control.
Oh, there we go. There's one. Tagged down to 10 HP though, Chopper. And well, unfortunately for him, there's like a firing squad just waiting for him. And the Beast himself, right close, exactly. Snacks right around the corner. Hits that timing. Gets the kill, and it's match point, 13 of them for Virtus.pro. So a very comfortable situation to find yourself in right now if you're VP. And really, Snacks, just throw away the MP9. Exactly. Oh, he gives the AWP over to Pasha. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
15-2.
Kind of want to just see everybody go for rifles, though, in this round and just end it. It's not so much about building economy now. It's more just about just continuing to stomp Vega into a bloody pulp.
Yeah, finish out the game. Don't allow for them to do anything. These long-range smokes again coming out, and sort of a similar style here from JL, or at least trying to do what Pasha was doing in the first half. Doesn't quite work out. Pasha instead picking up 2 shots with the AWP. Near with 1, and Haji trying to see if he can bring it back. It's not going to happen. Just shed the last one. If he goes down, 16-2 in favor of Virtus.pro. Looking very strong in their first game of the PGL Major. That is such a relief. I think many people were worried, scared even, but this is the style of Polish Counter-Strike that everybody loves.
Yes, it's the aggression, but it's also just we saw some very interesting play from VP, which is not only do they have the aim in Pasha, in Snacks, and Bialy, right? They're heavy hitters. Taz even showed up in that match, but look at how thorough they were on that T side. It's just step after step. You could tell that they had game plans, that they had well thought out strategies. Really refreshing CS to watch, I think, because it was so measured. It wasn't just, okay, everybody spread out around the map and we're going to look for headshots. It was actually just very well thought out strategies where they work together as a unit. And so that's the kind of VP that I love to watch. Is then you get the best of both worlds. You get the heavy hitting aim and you get the brain.
Yeah, there's been some matches recently that we've seen from them where they look very hesitant, and you know, it just doesn't look like the team is sort of fully functioning. Completely different story here. What a relief. And they got the Polish flag right there. You see, they've got everything. They've got everything going on.
I mean, post-match interview, we need to find out who this week in the leader roulette when it comes to VP is calling. It looks like it's Snacks.
I was going to say the fact that Snacks had all those papers there made you suspect that maybe that could be it.
Made you think, yeah.
What a great game.
But then VP, you know, they have Taz and Neo, who are always so outspoken, and it's just a game of hot potato as to who actually gets the call on that team. It looks like Snacks for the major, though.
Now, pity on the analysts that have to, you know, try and come up with there's a lot of Virtus.pro rounds that to be discussed. Vega Squadron definitely lacking. They are ready on the desk. So, Paul, what do you guys think about this match?
Well, now. What did we say before the break? What did we say before this match? They're back, ladies and gentlemen. Slump or no slump, Virtus.pro back in charge with a 16-2 drubbing of Vega Squadron. Let's find out what our panel members made of that. Are they back?
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves there, Paul. All right?
I did think that might be your response there.
This is almost exciting as me ironing my shirt today, but
okay,
it's great to see VP playing as a unit, right? There's no point sitting here saying Snacks played fantastic, Pasha played. It was a team effort across the board. It was a pleasure to watch. That's the type of Counter-Strike that me and Yanko actually love watching, because Sure, it's not as exciting as a close match, but you can see the fundamentals shining through in every single instance. You know, they're on their anti-ecos, they're playing together, using their utility, staying in the death ball, trading perfectly. They're not rushing into situations. Then on the gun rounds, I was really excited about the pacing. You know, they were doing the outside smokes. And then, you know, we moved into the 5th or the 6th round. They did actually lose it, but they ran a bit of a fake of the strat, and it forced the rotations of Vega to be really awkward, took advantage of that, and I'd love to see it all.
I think it just shows the clear game plan that VP had coming into this game and how they executed it to perfection pretty much. As Chad pointed out, you could see how early on they wanted to pressure Secret, they wanted to pressure the lower bomb side, they wanted to figure out, okay, once we get control of Secret, what are the rotations for Vega? Which is the player that moves in to fill that gap? And that's what they've exploited later on in the half, right? Realizing where the weak link is, throwing in a couple of faster paced executes as well. And after, you know, the first half of the first half, basically after 7 or 8 rounds, right, with VP being so dominant, that's where the game pretty much snowballs out of control. You could see some of those clutches. Vega Squadron didn't even play them properly. You could see how they lost their patience, and VP just completely demolished them.
Individually though, Vega, they had moments, didn't they? We can see that the inherent skill is there in the players that they've got.
Yeah, look, they were chasing their tail on that CT side the whole time. It looked like VP knew exactly how they were going to play their rotation, with JR dropping under with the AWP to get that one cheeky frag and get away. But they were flashing that corner, they were jumping over it. So it's so difficult when they know your tendencies. And this is the thing when you're a newer team, when you're a skill-based team, your tendencies are you're almost like a one-trick pony. You have your little plays that work, and once you get figured out, once you get looked into, you can be countered very easily, right? So I think, you know, VP, they definitely did their homework. You saw Stacks with the notes there for a little while. So the thing that I think Vega needed to do was take the fight to VP and not just play standard Counter-Strike, right? They needed to do something aggressive on the first gun round, or, you know, be really aggressive in yard, which is it's an important part of the map, but they just look very stagnant.
I think we saw that in the offline qualifier from them, and in the minor. They were very aggressive at times on maps. Why didn't we see that from them?
I think what they needed to do is veto nuke, like not allow it to go through.
We haven't discussed that.
I think that was the problem number one, because yeah, their coach said we want to play our own game, and you know, we're confident in our map pool and all of that. But listen, you're playing VP. You're not playing some, you know, CIS team in the minor. They played this map 3 times in the CIS minor and they won it, but it's not the same type of abyss. You feel like if Vega is going to make any upsets here or have any results, they need to take risks in that veto. They needed to veto probably both Nuke and Train and leave Overpass and Inferno as the last 2 maps, because for VP, Overpass has been weak, and I'm not sure if in the first game, even though they know Vega doesn't play it, would they want to test it? And Inferno would have been much better. But yeah, I agree with what you and Chad said. They definitely needed to be more aggressive, but from the position in which they were in, it was a bit difficult, because you lose pistol, it's the first gun round, and you're like, okay, we know how they like to play, we don't need to do anything crazy, it's just the first gun round. But then you lose that, you're down 5-0, and then you try it, but at that point VP is expecting it. So VP was just one step ahead the whole game.
Okay, let's catch up with one of the members of Virtus.pro right now, a fellow old person, although he's still playing the game and I'm not. It is, of course, Taz. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, all good, man.
Good.
Not everybody can play games, right?
Not everyone. Not everyone can do it as well as you, my friend, either. That's a good start. I mean, were you worried coming into this major because you haven't had the best of form? Is it got on top of you, or are you guys just chilling out now? You're fine.
I mean, if you follow me, if you know me good enough, I'm not worried. You could see that I'm not worried. I know how we play. I know how we practice. I can see how the team is working, and the only thing which wasn't that good was the mood and the attitude during the games. I mean, the thing is that if we are aggressive, if we are believing in ourselves, then we are getting easy work of everyone.
Yeah. Were you surprised they let Nuke through?
Oh yes. I mean, that's strange. Like, you have 3 bans, so I thought that this tournament, like everyone, will remove Nuke. But we are really welcoming this with open hands. And if you want to play Nuke, please do.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else is going to let you play Nuke now.
We will see. We will see. Maybe there is, like, you know, if we are going to play against players like FaZe or some, you know, people who are very, very sure of themselves, then maybe they'll let Nuke. I mean, fingers crossed.
A challenge is thrown down. I like it, Taz. Yeah, I've got Yanko and Sponge here as well. I've got a couple of questions. I'm sure.
Hey, that was a great game.
Thank you.
My first question is that you mentioned it before, Paul. Who is in-game leading right now? Because it seems like it's changed hands a few times recently.
Stacks is in-game leading for some time now, but I think that this is the first event when he will show his true potential as the in-game leader.
Sweet.
I mean, you guys, I know that you're a confident guy and everything, and that you guys have been through slumps before, but I think this is the first time it's been like 3 big LAN tournaments in a row where you don't really make it out of groups. You guys as a team, obviously very experienced players. How difficult was it to really pinpoint what the problem was and to like work on it to solve it?
Oh, it's a long question. Good one, yeah. well played. You're very good now. Let me start from the tournaments. I mean, the thing is about tournaments, it's really bad to say this from our perspective, but the events now are bigger and bigger, right? So when you go to event where it's like $250,000 as the prize pool, it's not like a very big event anymore. It's like good event, but the biggest events are like $500,000, $1 million, or like Chinese event, almost $2 million. So this is one thing, right? I don't think that there is much thinking about the prize pool nowadays. It's more about winning or, losing. It doesn't even matter if you lose 0-3, gaining like 6 rounds in a tournament, or you lose 2-3 and you're out the same way as the team with 0-3. But for us, what can I say? I mean, I said it at the beginning that I really feel that we have everything what we need to succeed. Like from tactic point of view, I think that you already saw some new stuff from us. You saw that we can play different tempo of the game, and this is where we feel confident. But the thing is that we just didn't put the good mindset into the games in Cologne. Now we are in Kraków, we are in Poland. I cannot tell you that we will dominate everyone, but I can tell you that you will see a better side of VP this event, because we are in our home country. Everyone is cheering for us. Everyone is waiting for us to go to stadium. We didn't do it in Katowice. We let everyone down. We let ourselves down, and we are here to show people more respect. We need to do it not for us, but we need to do it for our fans, for our people, for our country.
Cool, thank you.
I like that a lot. You've always been a very proud man here when it's come to Counter-Strike, playing in your home country, so I know how much this means to you as well. I just wanted to check as well, from the football match, have you got any injuries?
That's actually funny, because I was the oldest guy there, and oh no, I wasn't. There were some, yeah, but
there was a couple of older guys
there. But
the
unfortunate thing is that one is running every day, and the second guy was from the second Bundesliga,
yeah,
right? So
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, so I was the worst old guy, not like in this interview, right? Here at least I have you. The thing is that, I mean, I was the only guy flying on the ground when we played.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of that.
I had a sore hand after the game, so only now the Olofmeister injury let down, so hopefully it will be good.
Unbelievable. And I've still got more hair than you. Thank you very much for joining us, and congrats on the first game of the day.
Well played.
Taz there from Virtus.pro, always a fun man to interview wherever he is, and good luck to those guys tomorrow. They are 1-0 on the opening day here of their hometown major. It's also hometown for one of the players, actually. I think Snacks is actually from Krakow, so
lovely city.
Even more from him. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I went to the old city. It's really nice.
Did you go around last night?
Yeah, I went dragon hunting, saw a castle, had a great time.
Did you get any dragons?
No dragons. No.
Not this time.
No dragons this time. Let's check in with the scoreboard and show you exactly how things panned out with this one. Great game from Snacks again, but as you pointed out earlier, it was very good. A very good all-round team performance.
It was fundamentally sound. Snacks had some very flashy moments, right? He had that shot towards the vents. He also had the clutch.
A single bullet.
Yeah, and he had the clutch was spamming through two of them, like through the smoke. He had that. The one that blew my mind the most is Ramp, where he's pushed through a smoke and still got 2 entry kills, and I've just gone, well, that kind of sums up the game right there, doesn't it? But
for Vega Squadron, yeah.
Yeah, they were having a rough time. But yeah, you have to look at the pips. Pasha early was probably the most impressive, I think. Just consistently racking up kills. Wasn't like multi-frags, it was just across the board. He was getting the kills he had to make.
I mean, VP was 8-1 up, and Neo didn't get a kill yet.
Yeah.
So that just tells you how little he had to do in all of that for the team. That everyone was contributing, and you could see how they were just singling out Vegas players. It was always a 2v1 situation, and that's something that's maybe hard to pinpoint while you're watching the game, or to realize rather, but it's super important, that spacing and getting the trades in. It's how you manage to win rounds as T.
An MVP for this one? Who would you pick out?
Kuben. I don't know who's responsible for that.
I'm not sure you can pick out Cuban.
Who's responsible for that game plan? But I mean, yeah, I guess you pick Snacks.
Yeah.
Out of the first among equals, fair to say.
Okay, well, you can take a look at some of his statistics in that particular game. He's 19-0-6 for 97 ADR. I was also mentioned for Passion on there, 115.6 ADR in this game.
That means he made all the kills he should have. Like, he didn't have any assists. That's great. You don't have any of that drama of like getting a bink off and then not finishing the frag.
Right.
Yeah, that's fun.
Is that right?
Yeah, I like that. That's a good feeling.
Just being set up by his teammates, of course.
Yeah, everyone else is
finishing
just,
them off,
supporting him.
Something like that.
So he's done his job.
He's done more than his job.
Okay, good. We are going to move on. Thank you very much to our panel members. They will be back, of course, for our next matchup, and we are heading to our 4th match of the day. But so far, it's 3 out of 3. Can the Legends continue the streak? We'll find out after the break.